We have a major update on the New York Knicks and their trade discussions with the Atlanta Hawks over their premier target, Dejounte Murray. We also know what the major obstacle in a trade for Dejounte Murray is for the New York Knicks. And it's like we always thought. It's all about the picks. We're going to break down this report and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The major obstacle in the New York Knicks trading for Dejounte Murray has been revealed. And we've known for the last few weeks, the Murray conversations have been ongoing between the Knicks and the Hawks. But unfortunately, the Knicks have nothing to show for it because a trade has not gotten done yet. But now, thanks to an NBA insider, we know that the New York Knicks and the Hawks have been having talks at least behind the scenes and trying to get a Murray deal done. But now, according to this insider, we now know the major obstacle that is stopping the Knicks from getting Dejounte Murray on this roster. Let's take a look at this report. According to NBA insider Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype, the Atlanta Hawks guard has been linked to numerous teams in the recent weeks and was reportedly at the center of trade talks with the Knicks. The two teams discussed a potential deal including one first-round pick, Quentin Grimes, and the expiring contract of Evan Fournier. Whether the Knicks would have agreed to move forward with that deal is unknown, because as things stand now, we may never know. This stems from the Hawks' pursuit of a second first-round pick in a deal for Murray, an asset that Scotto reports the Knicks didn't have an appetite to move at this point. Here's his full report on this situation. According to Michael Scotto, I've touched on the Knicks as another team that was in the hunt for Murray. That has cooled off. New York currently feels the asking price for Murray is a bit too high right now. It's one thing for a first-round pick, the expiring contract of Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes. That package has been kicked around. But that extra first-round pick that Atlanta is looking for right now hasn't been something that New York has had an appetite to move at this point. Shout out to NBA insider and great friend of the show, Michael Scotto, for giving us this great update on the New York Knicks, their pursuit of Dejounte Murray, and what they were comfortable in giving up in a trade for him. And as you heard, that was Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and a first-round pick. But that wasn't enough for the Atlanta Hawks. Because I believe Dejounte Murray is playing so well, they've increased his value, and now they're seeking another first-round pick in discussions with the New York Knicks. And because of that extra first-round pick, the Knicks are looking at this deal, and they're thinking to themselves, I like Dejounte. I want him on this roster, but I'm not willing to give up more first-round picks in a deal for him. Now, while I can understand that, in my opinion, if the Hawks are only seeking another first-round pick along with Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, and that other first that you're including already, why are we having this discussion? Go out and get Dejounte Murray right now. What are we holding all these picks for? What are we going to do with all these picks? I don't know if you guys have noticed. This Knicks team looks phenomenal right now. Right now, without even making a move, they look like contenders. Could you imagine what would happen if they added a player to the caliber of Dejounte Murray to this roster? If they look like contenders right now, then you could probably lock them in as potential contenders for the NBA Finals. That's what Dejounte Murray does for this team. That's what he means for this team. He fits this team perfectly under Tom Thibodeau, and I'm not the only one who feels that way. According to SNY's Ian Begley, another NBA insider, he notes that a lot of people internally within the Knicks organization actually like the fit of Dejounte Murray and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt. They're sharing my belief, a belief that I've been basically screaming on this platform for the last few weeks as I've been talking about Dejounte Murray and why the New York Knicks should go after him. And clearly the Knicks know how important Dejounte is and what he could mean to this Knicks roster, because that's why they're having talks with the Atlanta Hawks trying to get Dejounte Murray on this team. But here's the thing. The Knicks are winning, and they're winning games a lot, like I mentioned. And they're doing so without Dejounte. So if the Hawks are asking for another pick in this deal, the Knicks don't have to give up that other pick to get Dejounte on this roster, and the excuse they can give to all of us is the Knicks are winning. They look good. They look phenomenal, and they are beating the teams they should beat. But after this OG Anunoby trade, they are smacking the teams that a lot of fans are not even giving them a chance in beating, like the Denver Nuggets, like the Philadelphia 76ers, like the Minnesota Timberwolves. All teams that the New York Knicks have beaten. Some of those teams they've destroyed, and that's a statement not only to the Eastern Conference, but to the entire NBA that the New York Knicks are ready. They're here, and they're ready to make noise in the playoffs once they get there this season. And I can assure you, all of the teams in the NBA are watching this Knicks team, and none of them want to face this team in a 7-game series because they can see how good, how great, and how lethal they are right now. And if they make another trade for a player of significance, a player that can help impact this team in the right way, I don't think any NBA team would raise their hand trying to go in a first-round series with this New York Knicks team. That's how good they look right now. It's also important to note here that the New York Knicks currently feel that the asking price for Murray is a bit too high right now, and they have currently cooled off in terms of wanting to trade for Murray. Why that's important to note is if the New York Knicks have cooled off on it, the reason and the only reason that would have happened is because the New York Knicks are winning games. And once you're winning games, and you're winning games by a lot, and you're beating teams, destroying teams, and you're doing so at a really good record, 11-2 under the OG Anunoby era for the New York Knicks right now. Once that happens, that's going to make you rethink your trade plans. So if the Knicks had interest and desire to trade for Dejounte Murray, and it was here, given the fact that the New York Knicks are winning so many games, and the Atlanta Hawks have increased their trade price for Dejounte Murray in trade negotiations with the New York Knicks, and with keeping all of that in mind and understanding who our president of basketball operations is in Leon Rose, and the fact that he doesn't like to overpay for any player. He likes to get them for a fair deal, what he likes to give up, or for a steal. And if those options are not on the table, it's likely that Leon Rose is not going to do that deal. Considering all of that, I think the New York Knicks and Leon Rose are going to hone in and focus in on trying to get a player to come off the bench that can help stabilize the offense once Jalen Brunson is taking a rest. And I think that's the only thing the New York Knicks are looking to add before the trade deadline. Because the Knicks are winning, they look good, and they look dominant. Once that happens, it's going to change your trade plans just a little bit. And if the player you want anyways is going for a higher asking price now, it's going to basically lead you or force you into a move that helps you now and in the future. Depending who that player is that the New York Knicks traded for could help them in the future to help facilitate that trade for the star they always wanted. So that's a couple of reasons why the New York Knicks may entertain a type of trade to get this Knicks team better before the trade deadline. But if you were wondering, or you were hoping, or you were thinking that player was going to be Dejounte Murray, kind of like I was, you now know that it's likely that trade is not going to happen. And the main reason why is because the Hawks are increasing their price point with any trade negotiations with the New York Knicks, asking for another first-round pick on top of the trade package of Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and one first-round pick that the New York Knicks were already comfortable in giving up for Dejounte Murray. The Knicks and Leon Rose should not be patient here. Players like Dejounte Murray don't come around often. When you see this opportunity on the table, you have to. You must seize it. And if you do, if the Knicks do this, and they give up that other first-round pick that the Hawks are looking for, it's not going to hurt the Knicks. They can still make that major star move in the offseason if they want to. And they can include Dejounte Murray in that deal, depending on who that player is that's available. That's the best part of this. Dejounte Murray helps them now, helps them in the playoffs, helps them next season, and also helps them make that star, all-star, or superstar trade that they've always wanted to do whenever they want to do it. Because Dejounte Murray's value is going to increase playing for Tom Thibodeau. His defense is going to get better playing for Tom Thibodeau. And he's going to give you all of that and more on this Knicks team. A Knicks team that's contending. And mind you, when he was talking about potentially being traded, there was reports out there that stated if Dejounte Murray was traded, he would rather go to a contending team. The New York Knicks, as they look right now, I don't think you can doubt it when I say they are looking like a contending team in the NBA. And I think we absolutely have to acknowledge that. And since that's the case, it fits the needs of Dejounte Murray, and the Knicks have the assets to get this deal done. If it's just another first-round pick on top of Grimes, Fournier, and the one first-round pick you were comfortable in giving up anyways, then I don't know what we're waiting for. Do that. Include that other first-round pick. Get this deal done and watch this Knicks team flourish. Watch this Knicks team go off and watch this Knicks team be a player in the NBA Finals, because that's what I think a Dejounte Murray deal does. We're waiting for the New York Knicks, Leon Rose, and this front office that he put together to make the trade. Make the move that the New York Knicks need to make to get better this season and make even more noise in the playoffs, because that's exactly what the New York Knicks need to do. And if they do that, they're going to make the New York Knicks an attractive destination for other stars to want to come and play for. And ultimately, that might be one of the goals for the New York Knicks this season as well, too. And making crucial moves by the trade deadline is how you do that. I can't wait to see what Leon Rose and this Knicks front office has in store for us. But what about you guys? What do you think about this major obstacle the New York Knicks are facing in getting Dejounte Murray on this roster? And like me, would you give up that extra first-round pick that they're seeking to get Dejounte on this team? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.